increase the font size. The first thing is we are going to see what are scenarios. The scenarios means that we are just creating a kind of a situation. We are creating different situation for different sets of data. If I want to check the results under different scenarios or under different situations, so I can create scenarios in our spreadsheet application to check that. So first scenario which I am going to create is over here. Nandini Gupta, I know that there are only these many students, but I cannot help because I need to complete the syllabus and we are already recording the session. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the other attendees. Already message was given in the class group. So you just concentrate on the class, dear. Okay, please don't worry about whether anybody has joined or not joined. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, for example, I have a scenario here like some expenditures in a month which I have to incur, right? Wait a sec. Firstly, I'm going to see what is my income. Suppose I earn in a month, I earn say 30,000. Okay, so this is my salary which I am getting in a month, and I have certain expenditures here like house rent. Suppose I have a house, I have to pay a house rent of 7,000 rupees in a month, and I also have to buy groceries. So, and suppose my groceries is I have to pay 6,000 for groceries. I have to pay some EMI also, and suppose that is 8,000 per month, and transport, that is I the money which I spend on commuting from one place to another. Commuting from one place to another, I suppose I have to spend 4,000 rupees for that, right? Now I will be just calculating how much is my savings in a month. So firstly, I'm going to write savings. What would be my savings? Can anybody tell me the formula how I can calculate the savings? This is my income. That is what I am getting. Okay. And these are all the expenditures which are there. So I'm going to shade these a bit like this, green color. All my expenditures will be in a slightly orange color and my savings will be in blue color. Okay, so this way I'll be able to understand that this is my income, these are my expenditures in a month, and now I have to calculate how much I am able to save. So can anybody tell me what formula will you use for calculating savings?
Income minus sum of expenditure.
Yes, very good. Income minus the sum of expenditure. So I'm going to write income like this. That is D5 minus sum of expenditure. So I can write here minus sum formula and I can just copy all these. Is the bracket and my savings is 5,000. Okay, so I'm able to save how much? 5,000. Now what I'm going to do is for this I'm going to create a scenario. So I'm going to just copy these values over here. I'll go to data, I'll go to tools and from here I'll go to scenarios. Okay, and I'm going to give a name to the scenario first of all. I'm going to give a name to the scenario like firstly it is normal expenditure. Normal expenditure which I am giving. Okay, you can give a comment regarding this like when I am spending normal amount of money on my monthly expenditures. This way I can do that. For the time being, I can simply uncheck these boxes over here, which we will be seeing in the later classes. We are going to uncheck these boxes, copy back, copy entire sheet and prevent changes for the time being. Okay. These slowly we will cover them when you have mastered the basics, right? And I'm going to just check this display border and choose a certain color. Suppose for this one I'm choosing a blue color. Okay. Click on OK. And you can see this is my normal expenditure. Okay. And there is a drop down arrow over here. If you click on that drop down arrow, you can see the name of the scenario. Now I'm going to change the values for the scenario. My income is fixed and I think that, okay, let me have some other situation where my house rent, I shift to a better house than this. I want to live in a better, suppose I was living in a 1 BHK apartment and now I want to shift to a 2 BHK apartment. Okay, so for that, my house rent goes up. Okay, maybe groceries, I have to spend a lot of money on groceries, and you can see my savings are very less, but very soon I am going to get promoted, so maybe I'll be getting 40,000 in a month, so I'll be able to save this much amount of money. But then my because the interest rates have gone up, so I have to pay 9,000 instead of 8,000. And this new apartment which I have shifted to, that is a bit far away from my work. So I have to spend little more money in transport. Okay, so this is again my extravagant expenditure which is there. So I'm going to again select all these. This will be my second scenario. So I'll go to tools and I'll go to scenarios and I'm going to give it a high expenditure. And I'm going to give a comment over here. I have shifted to a better location, hence my expenses have increased. So my expenses have increased over there. I'm going to uncheck these boxes and select another color, and because it is too much of expenses, so I am selecting a red border. Click on OK. Now you can see there is a red border, and if you click on this button, you can see two scenarios: normal expenditure, high expenditure. So if I click on normal expenditure, you can see the old values, they come back. That is when my income was 30,000, when my house rent was 7,000, groceries I had to spend 6,000. Okay, EMI was less, transport was less, savings was almost 5,000. Now when I have shifted, when I got promoted, I got shifted to another location. My expenses have increased, but my savings have also increased over here. Now, suppose I feel that, okay, because of this COVID-19 situation, there was a drop in the salaries. So my salary has suppose decreased to 25,000. I'm getting very less salary, so I had to think about. I shifted to some other place where I was paying only 4,000 rupees as the rent. I thought that okay, I'll reduce my grocery expenditures to 5,000. I can make do in that much. Okay, EMI won't change because of the floating interest rate. EMI has also gone up. And transport, obviously, I think that instead of driving my own vehicle, I would be traveling using the metro or any public conveyance. Okay, so for that again I think that maybe 4,000 is enough for that. So this would be my low expenditure scenario. So I will be selecting these cells once again. I'll go back to tools, I'll go to scenarios, and here I'm going to give the name as low expenditure. And I can give a comment over here. My salary got reduced, hence I tried to reduce all my expenses. I just gave a comment over here. The comment is kind of optional. If you want to give, you can give. Okay. Then I'm going to uncheck these two boxes and I'm going to select some other, like I'm going to select the green color this time and click on OK. And you can see a green color on this. Now there are how many scenarios? If you click on this button, there are three scenarios. First scenario, normal expenditure. This is the normal expenditure. You want to see what happens in the high expenditure. So this is my high expenditure. And you want to see what happens when my expenditure is low. So this is the expenditure. So this way, three different sets of data are there in your spreadsheet, but you can access and display them at one single place. Okay, so these are different scenarios. Like when my expenditure is low, what is the scenario? What are the different values here? What are the expenditures here? How much savings I'm able to make? Okay, what is my income? And what is in high expenditure? This is the scenario in high expenditure, and this is the scenario in normal expenditure. So I'm just creating a plan for myself that if this is the situation, if I get promoted, what will happen? If my salary is reduced due to some pandemic situation, what will be the values, right? So this way I am creating different situations. I am visualizing different situations or different scenarios. Is this clear to everyone? Okay. So this was scenarios. Let's take another example for scenarios. Okay. Suppose subject and marks. I have three subjects here and I have IT, four subjects. And I'm getting some marks out of it. Suppose maximum marks are 100. One scenario is when I'm getting very good marks, like 90 in science, I'm getting 89 in social science, I'm getting 78 in math, and I'm getting 85 in IT, right? And I'm going to calculate the percentage. How will I calculate the percentage? Sum of all of these divided by, I can simply write divided by 4 because all the marks are out of 100 only. So I can simply divide it by 4, which will give me the average, that is 85%. Right. Now, what I'm going to do is create different scenarios. This is the first scenario where my marks are very high. Okay, where my performance is very good. So I'm going to select only this much and I'll go to tools, I'll go to scenario, and I'm just going to give a name over here. Above average performance. So this is my above average performance and I can give some comment over here like 85% I am able to pass my exam with flying colors. 5%. Okay, so I've just given this 85.5, right? And I'm going to uncheck these boxes, display border, and I'm going to give a green color to it and click on OK. And I get this first scenario over here, that is above average. Now it happens that it could be possible that sometimes my performance can reduce. So for that purpose, I need to check like Suppose in science I'm getting only 65%, 65 marks. In social I'm getting only 75 marks. Maths it has reduced to 60 marks, and IT I'm getting 70 marks. Right. So this is still first division, but it is some below average, some average performance. I can take it. So I'm going to select all of these. I'll go to tools, go to scenarios, and here I'm going to write average performance. Okay, and I can just give a comment over here saying my in this scenario is average around 87.5, and I'm going to uncheck these boxes, go to display border and just use an orange color over here. The color name of the color is brick. I've just selected this color, click on OK, and you can see now how many scenarios? Two scenarios. Above average performance, average performance. And let me create another scenario where my performance is below average. So let me take it as 30 marks in science. Some 40 marks I'm getting in social science, I'm getting 25 in math, and I'm getting 33 in IT. Very poor performance. I'm going to select this, go to tools, go to scenarios, and I'm going to click here below average performance. And I'm going to give a comment over here. This is my lowest possible performance with barely 32 percentage. And I'm going to uncheck these boxes. For a display border, I'm giving red color because it is a below average performance. Click on OK, and now you can see three different scenarios. Above average performance, performance is very good. Average performance, okay, where my performance is kind of average, and below average performance, that is very less marks. Okay, so this way you can create different scenarios of data in your spreadsheet. Is this clear to everyone? Scenarios, how it is a very simple application, students. Is it clear to all of you? So give me a quick feedback so that we can move forward. I'm guessing that you don't have any questions, right? A very simple thing, scenario. If you want to create different, visualize different situations, how different, likewise, what you can do is, I'm giving you one task for this scenario. At home, you will be doing these two examples, no doubt, and you have to create scenario of simple interest. Where the first you will be taking this data. What data you will be taking? Firstly, principal amount. Second, rate of interest. Third, time period. So one first scenario will be, and you'll be calculating what? Simple interest. Which formula will you use for simple interest? Can anyone tell me? Come on. Tell me the formula. Yes, Nandini?
Ma'am, P into R into T upon 100.
Yes, very good. P into R into T upon 100. Now this formula, how you will write it in Python, you will be started with equal to whatever cell contains the principal. So you will be writing it like this, P into R into T divided by 100. Whichever cell contains the principal, that cell address will come here. Whichever cell contains the rate of interest, it will it will come over here, and whichever cell contains the time period, it will come over here. And this way you will be able to calculate the simple interest. Now the scenarios. The first scenario is where rate of interest is very high, 12.5%. And time is how much? 5 years. You'll create this one scenario. Second scenario will be the rate is very low, 6.5%, and time is 2 years. Okay, and you'll create a third scenario where rate is 9.2% and the time is 4 years. Will you be able to do this, students? Firstly, you have to calculate you have to enter principal amount, rate, time period, any value for them you can enter. Okay, for principal amount you can enter any value. For time period you can enter the value according to the scenarios which are given here, and you have to apply formula to calculate simple interest. Okay, and then you will create these three scenarios. One where the rate of interest, you can give any name like high interest rate. So this one you can give medium, low interest rate, and the last one can be medium interest. So this I will give you as a practical question. So this one you will be doing, right?